Chad is a lonely horror fanatic whom runs his own video store. In dire need of a helper, but unwilling to employ persistent loyal customer Sam, his prayers seem answered when Han arrives to interview for the job. Han isn't as up on his genre movies as his new boss, and so Chad begins to educate him into the weird and wonderful world of horror. These rules are explored in a series of short films, each one targeted at deconstructing those tired horror tropes, making Scare Package more than your typical anthology. Rather than just being a series of shorts, the interlinking story directed by Aaron B. Kuntz in Scare Package works well and eventually becomes its own distinct entity, featuring a brilliant turn from Chase Williamson. Those nostalgic for the days of returning videotapes will find a lot to love within this setup, and fans of horror will find a treasure trove of Easter eggs hidden in the store. Chad's car looks mighty similar to the one at the end of A Nightmare on Elm Street, and there's a poster for THN favorite Starry Eyes in the staff bathroom, and that's just naming two of them. The segments themselves, all taking aim at various subgenres, are similarly peppered with little nods and homages to some of best, as well as more obscure, classics. As with most anthologies, Scare Package is somewhat of a mixed bag when it comes to the short films featured. Standouts include Anthony Cousins' The Night He Came Back Again. Part 4, The Final Kill, which has a lot of fun playing around with the unkillable killer trope. You know how the likes of Michael Myers and Jason et al. Always seem to survive when initially thought dead? Well, Cousins explores this, as well as the relationship with said killer and his final girl, in a fun and very bloody way. The short segment definitely doesn't scrimp of the red stuff, and there are more deaths in this one segment than in most modern slashers on the market. Another highlight is Misdr, directed by and starring Looper's Noah Segan. Segan is no stranger to the horror genre and here tackles werewolves and the struggles that modern man has to face. There's a nice tongue-in-cheek tone to the piece with just the right amount of Fight Club musings to get the funny bones going. The award for most zany, wild and wacky section falls to Chris McEnroy's One Time in the Woods. I don't want to divulge too much about this one, but rest assured it brings the fun in the biggest way imaginable. It's inevitable, as the stories are all completely different in terms of tone and style, that Scare Package drags a little in places. It's never for long though, and Scare Package makes for a dynamic addition to the horror anthology, whilst at the same time introducing some interesting new genre voices.